You are watching Eawaz TV, Voice of Community.
हेलो एंड वेलकम टू अ न्यू एपिसोड ऑफ आवर कम्युनिटी राउंड अप। हम आपको बताना चाहते हैं कि आज हमारे साथ बहुत ही स्पेशल ऑफिशियल्स हैं पील पुलिस से और इनका एक बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त कैंपेन चल रहा है टॉयज़ फॉर टॉट्स, यानी कि बच्चों के लिए ये बहुत सारे टॉयज़ जमा कर रहे हैं जो कि अंडर प्रिविलेज बच्चे हैं। इस फेस्टिव सीज़न में वो सारे टॉयज़ नहीं ले सकते हैं, तो उनके लिए ये काम जो है इन्होंने शुरू किया है, यानी कि इन्होंने ये कैंपेन शुरू की है ताकि उन बच्चों के बीच में भी थोड़ी सी खुशी फैला सकें। तो हमारे साथ आज बैठे हुए हैं यहाँ पे हमारे डेप्यूटी चीफ और उनका नाम है मार्क डेपिट, और दूसरी उनके साथ बैठी हुई हैं टैरिन यंग हमारी पील पुलिस से। और वी वेलकम यू हियर इन आवर स्टूडियोज एट 770 एंड वी आर सो हैप्पी दैट यू कुड मेक इट। तो हम उनसे क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे कुछ, और ये जो ड्राइव हो रही है ये कैसे स्टार्ट हुई, इसके पीछे किसकी थॉट प्रोसेस थी, और ये कैसे कितने अरसे से चल रही है और कितनी सक्सेसफुली ये इसको आगे लेके चल रहे हैं, इस सब पे हम बात करेंगे। Chief Dapat, thank you very much for coming over once again, and we want to ask you first of all, whose idea or initiative was that in Peel Police to spread some cheer amongst the underprivileged kids with your this drive, Toys for Tot?
Well, first of all, good morning, Shazia, and good morning to all your listeners and your viewers. Thank you for hosting the Peel Regional Police. It's certainly our privilege to be talking about the Toys for Tots program, which we've enjoyed for 31 years now. Mm-hmm. I'm joined by Constable Taryn Young beside me, who is the chair of the Toys for Tots program for this season. And to answer your question, it was an initiative many years ago where police officers got together with the intent of spreading some joy and some warmth and some love to underprivileged kids that didn't have access to toys. And really, at this time of year, it's important that they celebrate and have access to that, something that they're totally entitled to. So the police officers partnered with Canadian Tire and
the Salvation Army.
And the Salvation Army, and many years ago they collected donations, and it's evolved into a program now where we collect new unwrapped toys and receive donations. Taryn really is the one that can answer the bulk of this question, so I'll turn it over to Taryn for more information.
Yeah. Yes, Taryn, what do you have to add on to this? Because you should be very proud that you are the chair of this whole campaign. This shows how much the Peel Regional Police thinks about giving back to the community it operates in. So how is your operation going on at the moment? I'm sure it's a very busy time.
It is a very busy time. Toys for Tots runs 7 days a week throughout the months of November and December. It did begin, as Deputy Mark Dapat had said, it began over 30 years ago with an officer that just had an idea to give back to our community. Community is something that Peel Regional Police is very proud of, and the togetherness. Our motto is a safer community together. And I think the two main words in that are community and togetherness. So you can't create community without togetherness. So if we're giving back to our community together, it really just stands behind what we are so proud of in creating that safer community together.
Okay. This drive has now been going on for 30 years, like Deputy Chief Dapat said. How many toys do you collect every year, and what institutions do you distribute them to?
Well, look, let me first answer this question by saying Taryn here is doing a phenomenal job as the co-chair of this program. Mm-hmm. And partnerships mean everything to us. Yeah. The partners that we have in the community are really the reason why this program has been as successful as it is, on top of the fact that we have a bunch of engaged officers who really believe in the program. So I'll turn the actual meat of the question over to Taryn, but I just wanted to really emphasize the importance of the partnerships and the fact that if it wasn't for the partners, this program would not be successful at all.
Okay.
Thank you. Well answered. To answer your question of how many toys, last year in monetary donations and in toys themselves, we monetize each toy at $20. So if we monetize each toy at $20, we raised over $1 million in toys last year and assisted over 10,000 families in the region of Peel. We actually had a surplus of toys, which were sent off to northern Aboriginal communities to assist them as well. So we use every single last donation, and every single last donation means so much to us that we try and give to the other communities that also need. Peel Regional Police is very proud of this toy drive, and it's the community partners that assist us. So some of our community partners will be Amazon. Amazon donates, this year was $90,000 worth of toys, which is absolutely incredible. I think, yes, these large donations mean so much to us, but sometimes I get letters in the mail of a family that donates $10, $20, $30, sometimes a toonie or a loonie with a nice note. Dear Constable Taryn Young, thank you for what you're doing for the community, so on and so forth. I think the smaller donations have a bigger impact because I know that's all that they have and that they're giving that small amount out of the kindness of their heart. Our community partners mean so much to us. And yes, giving back to the community through these toy drives is important. But the relationships that we make with those community partners mean a lot to us too. Yes, we give back to our Tots, which would be considered ages 0 to 16 years old. But the partnerships we make with the adults in the community that give back is also very, very important to us.
So where do you distribute these toys? Which organizations, or are they hospitals or orphanages?
Yeah.
Where?
So the Toys for Tots program is split into 2 different programs. So there's Santa's Little Helpers and Toys for Tots. So Santa's Little Helpers assists individual families. So if a police officer goes to a call and they recognize that that family is in need, they'll connect them with myself so that we can provide them with 5 to 10 toys per child. So we try and figure out what their likes are, what their interests are. So that would be for individual families. Now, our umbrella that works with the Salvation Army would be Toys for Tots. So they're filling out a request form with 50, 60, 70 families, which need the toys, whether that's a hospital. So we work with our Trillium Health partners, whether that's our Osler Health partners, shelters, and as you said, orphanages, or whatever would need those toys. They fill out the request form, they head to the Salvation Army, and with the toys that we donate to the Salvation Army, those toys are utilized for those families.
Oh, okay, that's excellent. Okay, one more thing I would like to ask you. Okay, this is one thing. This is your amazing, contribution to the community. What other initiatives over the years the Peel Regional Police has taken over for the community? Because I actually see a lot of respect for Peel Police in the community. Whether we see, a lot of discontent as far as few things that happen, but still people are in love with the police. They think that police is impartial and they do a good job. So what other initiatives are there at the moment? Or maybe Chief Dapat can answer this question, perhaps.
Oh my goodness, great question. And we could talk all day about all the different initiatives that we have. I got to tell you, we have a phenomenal membership of sworn and civilian professionals. And I guess the short answer to your question is, on top of the Toys for Tots program, we have a variety of charitable initiatives that help those that are underserved or underprivileged, including our work with the United Way. We do a program every year called Cops for Cancer, where we collect donations for the Canadian Cancer Society to combat cancer, and a bunch of officers, including myself, shave our heads at a main event where we shave our head for the Cops for Cancer campaign. So beyond the charitable initiatives, we have so many where we're working with youth, because youth is a major priority for the Peel Regional Police. The community often comes across the police at a time when they're experiencing a major crisis. So we are committed to engaging with the community at times when they're not in crisis, so that we can develop relations with them. And youth is one of the priorities that we have. So we engage with youth in a variety of programs. We have a program right now called Pro Action Cops and Kids, where we partner police officers with youth in a variety of different athletic programs or academic programs. We did one this past summer involving some kids that helped put a car together. So it was a junior mechanics program. One where we have some kids that are working with horses, and they learn the value of working with animals that are very, very smart, but it builds their ability to communicate, to work together. The aim really is for our youth to participate in programs where we're fostering leadership, we're fostering resiliency, we're fostering team building, overcoming adversity. Beyond that, we're engaged through community safety and well-being programs with so many partners to support community for a variety of different things when it comes to mental health, when it comes to older adult isolation, precarious housing, you name it. We're very busy, and we like being busy when it comes to engaging with the community. Okay. I don't know if there's anything more you can add to that, Taryn.
Very well said.
Yeah. Okay, Taryn, I'm coming back to you with your same campaign, Toys for Tots. I'm just wondering, for example, if community wants to connect with you, where can they send you an email, or where they can call you? If you can give us that number or that email, so that more people in the community engage with you and they send you their donations and, be part of this such a noble cause.
Thank you. I appreciate the platform to be able to share more about the Toys for Tots program and get more of our community members involved. So if you head to peelpolice.ca/toys, there's an option there to donate. There is an option there to find my contact information, my email and my extension. So there's many ways to reach out. My phone is always on me, and I'm always answering calls, especially at this time of the year, to connect with any kind of community partners that really want to give back in this very important time.
So what is actually the absolute cutoff date for this campaign?
We are working on December 18th, the week of December 18th. To wrap up everything, but the Salvation Army takes toys all year long. So if it's after Christmas, if it is after the season is over, the Salvation Army will reach out and the Salvation Army will take donations. It's important that we are helping throughout the year too, because let's say in January you have the funds or you're able to assist, we're not going to say, no, we don't want them. We'll take all year, and again, reach out to myself and I can assist with getting them in contact with the Salvation Army to make sure the toys are going where they're supposed to go.
Okay. Now that the Deputy Chief is sitting here, I'm really tempted to ask you this question, sir. Deputy Chief.
I'm tempted to hear your question.
Yes, I know. Okay. There's a concern lately, and this has got nothing to do with your, noble causes that you engage in. But there still is a concern in community about the rising crime, whether there are hate crimes or there are domestic violence crimes or there are auto thefts. Auto thefts has become a huge headache. In fact, our own managing director has lost 2 Mercedes cars. They were taken out from his driveway. So these are some of the concerns that the community thinks that, yes, police is very nice. They are always there to help you. If you are in crisis, you can reach out to them. They will help you. There is no, favoritism. They won't show any favoritism, racism or anything. But still, these things they have seen over the years increasing. Do you see your funds cut had an impact on it, or there are less policing being done, or what are the problems? I want to hear from your side. What are the problems that Peel Regional Police faces while curbing all of these problems?
Great question. Let me start by saying this. What we've learned over time, and what we're really, really trying to focus on, is the fact that when it comes to community safety and well-being, it's not just the responsibility of the police.
Okay.
The responsibility of community safety and well-being rests on the shoulders of the police, of the community, all of our other stakeholder partners. Okay. I say that because when you talk about something like the epidemic, and I'm saying epidemic of the auto theft issue, it is definitely an epidemic. Yeah. And the police really are struggling to keep up with the amount of auto theft that is happening. It's not because we don't treat it seriously, but it's happening across all jurisdictions It's happening in all communities. And like you said, you have a managing director who's lost 2 vehicles. I would hazard the guess that your viewers and even our own members know somebody that has been impacted by a stolen car. And the reality is, this is a problem that the entire community needs to get behind to solve. We are going to do our part from all kinds of proactive and preventative measures. We are constantly investigating and following up on leads and suspects and organized crime groups that are involved in this type of crime. But we also need the help of the manufacturers when it comes to making it harder and more difficult for thefts to be committed. We need to rely on our other enforcement partners, because these cars are ending up on the other parts of the world. So somehow they're making it into containers and leaving the country. And we need our other enforcement partners to participate in curbing all of this. And then we should really consider advocacy from government and our legislation to make crimes involving auto thefts something that people may not want to participate in, to act as a bit of a deterrent. So it's a long answer, but to ensure that your viewers and your listeners are confident that the police are doing everything that we can, what they need to know is that we have dedicated officers that are working around the clock, tirelessly, to address this issue. And they're working with as many partners as possible. We're building a lot of momentum, and your viewers and your listeners may have seen that we've been making some arrests. We're working with our other enforcement partners in other jurisdictions, and everybody is getting behind this to make sure that we do everything in our power to curb it. As far as issues like intimate partner violence, we're working with other stakeholder partners, because we know that many survivors of intimate partner violence are often victimized by this long before they even report it to the police. So on top of the police just investigating it, we're working with partners to make sure that those that are able to come forward feel empowered to come forward and report it, also have a system in place so that they can feel supported afterwards when they leave a violent or a dangerous situation. Let's talk about hate crime for a second. It would be remiss for us to be sitting here today and not acknowledge that on the other side of the world, in the Middle East, there is major
conflict,
violence and conflict that is happening with the communities over there. What we know here at Peel is that the conflict that is happening over there is having tremendous impact locally. It's having impact locally on the feelings of safety and well-being. We have members of our community that are feeling vulnerable. And I think it's important for your viewers and your listeners to know that the Peel Regional Police are deeply concerned about what's happening on the other side of the world, but we're also concerned about the increases in hate crime incidents and crimes that are being reported. We're deeply concerned by it, but it's also important for everybody to know that hate crimes are vastly underreported. So while there might be some increases that we're seeing, it doesn't mean that they weren't already happening. In fact, we feel very confident and we're encouraged that the community feels they can come forward to the police and now report it, because historically they wouldn't. So now it gives us more information on who we should be investigating, and gives us more information on the community that we should be supporting. It's not to say that we don't support everybody's fundamental rights and freedoms of expression, because I think everybody should be able to utilize that, and the police actually support that until it becomes a situation where they've crossed the line. But it's important for everybody to know that when they do report these crimes and incidents to us, we take them all very, very seriously, because we don't allow for hate in our community. So I want your viewers and your listeners to know that.
Okay, thank you very much. That has been an extremely, informative session. जी तो हमारे ये जो आए हुए थे दो आज पील रीजनल पुलिस के ऑफिसर्स, एक तो थे डेप्यूटी चीफ मॉरिक डेपट और दूसरी उनके साथ थी जो चेयर हैं टॉयज फॉर टॉट की, टेरिन यंग। उनके साथ आज हमने बहुत दिल खोल के बातें की और हमें यकीन है कि आपको भी उनकी डिस्कशन बहुत अच्छी लगी होगी। हम इनको फिर से भी बुलाएंगे और इनसे फिर और से भी बातें करेंगे, खासतौर पे डेप्यूटी चीफ डेपट जो हैं उनसे, जो कम्युनिटी के अंदर क्राइम्स चल रहे हैं उनके बारे में हम और बात करेंगे और आपको बताएंगे दैट पील पुलिस इज वेरी वेरी कमिटेड टू सेफ गार्डिंग योर इंटरेस्ट एंड योर वेल बीइंग। तो इसके साथ ही आज का हम प्रोग्राम खत्म करते हैं। हमें उम्मीद है कि आपको हमारा आज का ये प्रोग्राम और ये सेगमेंट पसंद आया होगा। प्लीज़ हमारे साथ जुड़िए, हमको अपने फीडबैक से ज़रूर आगाह किया करें, हमें बताया करें कि और इस तरह की कौन सी हम आपके लिए जो है इनिशिएटिव सामने लेके आ सकते हैं जिससे आप लोग फ़ायदा उठा सकते हैं। बट दैट्स ऑल द टाइम दैट वी हैव टुडे, सो बाय फॉर नाउ।
You are watching Eawaz TV, Voice of Community.